Hey everybody, welcome back. Welcome back to Generation X Nation. Now look, y'all got me back out here on Beyonce's Good Internet because I have to talk about this interview that Carlos King did with Kelly from the Real Housewives of Atlanta. This interview was full of a lot of mysterious things for me. Some of them seemed truthful, some of them seemed a little delulu, but we gonna talk about it. But before we get started, thank you to all my new subscribers. Hit the like button, subscribe, like my channel. I definitely appreciate everybody who follows me and leave a comment. Now, as always, everything on my channel is alleged, in my opinion, and for entertainment purposes only. Alleged, in my opinion, and for entertainment purposes only. So let's go over some of the stuff that Kelly said in this interview because I find it quite entertaining. Now, first, Carlos sitting down there making her comfortable. They're kikiing all in the kitchen and all that. Y'all seen that. So now they're on the couch. And the statement heard around the world was, she set the standards for the housewives. That was the worst thing that could have came out of your mouth, Kelly, because they are eating you up all over the world on that one. All over social media, Twitter, you set the standards. I think if you could dial that back, you would. And she did send out a tweet, and I posted it up here on the Bravo Shade Room, trying to clarify what she said. Now, I compare this interview to the Cat Williams and Shannon Sharp interview where Cat was going in on everybody and that interview just went viral. I even put that in Carlos King comment. Like, this right here is probably going to go viral because Kelly is definitely a character. So Kelly said some things that I just want to clear up for myself. So let's go through this real quick. Kelly says she been that girl her whole life. She says she been that girl since kindergarten. She says she was best dressed in high school. She wore Dolce and Gabbana. She says she wore Manolo Blancs. Now, this could be true or not true. I don't know. We seen her family on the show. They didn't seem like a family that came with a lot of wealth, but maybe they were extremely wealthy. I don't know. Because we know in high school, unless she had her own job, her parents would have been buying these things for her. Okay? As far as best dress, that's easy to prove, Kelly. If you're telling the truth, open up the yearbook. Usually the yearbook's going to have most popular, best dress, best couple, whatever, whatever. So you can prove that, Kelly, by showing us your yearbook. That's all I'm going to say on that. As far as being that girl in kindergarten, I don't know. Show us some pictures of you in kindergarten or a video of you doing a dance recital or something like that. Now, Kelly also said that she had reindeers and snow in her at her house. She said a helicopter has landed in her front yard, picked her up to take her to dinner. Now, I'm just saying, if you live the way you described living, Kelly, and that would have been in an upscale neighborhood who probably have an HOA, you would need a permit to land a helicopter in your front yard and to pick you up to take you to dinner. Now, I do know of that happening, and that was probably Michelle and Barack Obama when they was president and they went out to dinner one night and used the helicopter that people complained about. I'm not saying you have Beyonce, Michelle Obama syndrome, but it sounds kind of similar to that. Otherwise, your HOA allows you to just post a helicopter in your yard. Now, maybe she lived out in a rural area and had 20 acres of land or 10 acres of land to do that. But doing that in a residential area, I'm just saying. I'm not saying it's not true allegedly, but it sounds a little delulu to me. Now, she also said she had reindeers and snow in her house. Again, if you live in a residential area that has an HOH, you need a permit probably to put some reindeers in the yard too, and probably the snow. But if it's Christmas decorations, maybe not. But the real reindeers, you're going to need a permit for that. But once again, she could be telling the truth, could be a little bit delulu. That's all I'm saying. Back to the helicopter. Y'all remember the lady who had a helicopter land for her daughter's prom in that park and she lost her job because she was the manager or director of the Parks and Recreation. She didn't have a permit to do that. That's what I mean. You can't just land a helicopter anywhere without a permit. But moving on. Kelly said that she was the first person to shut down Balmain, shut down Fifth Street, give the type of event she give. Nobody has ever done that ever on the franchise. And then Carla had to bring her back down to earth just a little bit and remind her that Marlo Hampton had done this on season 4. And she was like, oh, okay. And then she admit her and Marlo are cool and she's friends with Marlo. Kelli went on to say that the ladies didn't dress or look the way they did. They stole her stylist. Well, she said when she came on season 16, she was the first one to come with a videographer and a stylist, and they stole her stylist. I don't remember for sure, but I thought back in season 16 when Britt Edie was on there. I thought Britt Edie was mad because Kelli was using her stylist, but maybe I got it mixed up because I thought Kelli had took somebody else's stylist. But according to Kelli, she came with the stylist first, content creator, videographer, closing down barmaid, giving events that she gave. According to her, like nobody had ever done it like she had. And she set the standards. So let's go back and relook at some of this stuff. As far as her having this stylist, you have the best stylist in the world, yet you're on confessionals giving confessions in a $140 Tom Ford t-shirt. Was you still on with that same stylist or had he left you? Because you had on a $140 t-shirt doing confessionals while everybody else was glammed up. Did the stylist advise you to do that? I'm just saying, Kel. Now, let's look at the shutting down stuff. Carlos corrected you, saying you weren't the first person to do that. Now, Candy Burrs, who's probably the richest housewives that had been on that show, has never shut down a store. I'm not saying she couldn't have done it if she wanted to, but she's never done that. Usually stores who shut down, they shut down for high-end celebrities like a Oprah Winfrey or Beyonce or something. They may have private shopping rooms for other wealthy people, but they're not shutting the store down for Kelli, who does a cooking show, a content creator, and sells a book. I'm sorry, Kelli. I just don't believe that. Even if you're friends with that guy, he's not shutting his whole store down just for you to shop. And this is what I mean by Kelli seems to have a Beyonce, Michelle Obama syndrome. She think in her mind she is just that important. Kelli also said she had police escorts around town. Now, please tell me, what would Kelli need a police escort for? Are you the first lady of Georgia or something? I'm confused. Like, again, that's that Michelle Obama, Beyonce syndrome. You think you are just that important that they're going to shut the whole store down, give a police escort for you around town. Kelli, okay, let me bring it back. I'm just saying, this is the stuff that Kelli said that she done. Now, Kelli also said that some of the ladies be buying stuff and taking it back, and that's not what she do. Maybe you should have took some of that stuff back, and you might not be in the financial situation you in now. Because remember, we watch you film with your financial advisor, and you waste way too much money on clothes and stuff that you don't need. But I digress. Let's get back to the interview. She told Carlos she never wanted to be Atlanta housewives. She is not impressed with their lifestyle and how they live. She doesn't have everything they had. Nothing about them impressed her. Then why are you on the show, Kelli? Why? Why did you just turn it down if you never wanted to be a housewife? Why are you fighting in court to get your children on the show so they can film and make money if you never wanted to be an Atlanta housewife? But she did say she wanted to be a Dubai housewife. And here's why I got you. That franchise is over. Even with all the flashiness, the name brand, and all the money and glamorous life they had over in Dubai, wasn't enough to catch viewers because they had no personality. That's what get people. You don't have to be the richest of the rich housewife. You just have to have a personality that viewers like, and you bring the viewers in, and then you can work your way back to wealth from that. That's all I'm saying, Kelli. She said she didn't want to ever be Atlanta Housewives, but she right there fighting for a third season. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, according to her, nothing they do impresses her. But Kelli says she set the standards. So if I am to believe this interview, Kelli said that season 1 through 15 was missing some element, and she is that element. So when she came in season 15, she fixed the whole franchise, and she is now the new standard, and she showed the ladies how it should be. She said she is the standard. She brought in a stylist. She shut down stores. She's basically telling y'all how this franchise should have been running for the first 15 years, and y'all missed the mark, and she has set the new standards. Now, that word, the standard, went viral to the point where she had to come back, and thanks to Bravo Shade Room, I'm posting what she wrote, and kind of do a little apology and backtrack and said, let me clear this up. I didn't mean the standard for the show. She said, I meant the standard for a newcomer to the Housewives. But that's not what you said. When you and Carlos was going back and forth talking about who shut down the street first, and he said Marlo did it, and she said, yeah. So you was comparing yourself to the previous seasons, Kelli. So you basically said they wasn't doing what they should have been doing until you showed up on season 16 and showed them how it could be done. That's how that interview sound. That's what it alluded to, okay? Now, after she posted this, the ladies had already threw their shade up. Drew had threw up a video with her song playing in the background, the Lulu, and you could see her and Marlo and Cynthia and Cherie Whitfield dancing in the streets. Portia had threw up a video playing the song in the background, and she even labeled it hashtag the standard, letting you know this is the standard. Even Cynthia went in there and posted her Vogue outfit, that Vogue photo shoot that she did in confessionals, that Carper gown that looked amazing on her. Those are all subliminal shades back to you, Kelli, talking about you was a standard, okay? But there was a lot of other housewives who didn't miss either when it came to fashion and the standards. So let's talk about Candy Burris looks good every time she walked on the scene. Nene Leakes looked good when she walked on the scene. Cherie Whitfield, good when she walked on the scene. Um, who else was on there? Marlo looked good when she walked on the scene. Eva Marcellus, who was on there a few years, she was an actual model. Eva could have wore something from Walmart and looked good when she walked on the scene. I say all that to say this. You don't have to drop name brand stuff or even wear name brand stuff, but I know you housewives are known for that. It's the character, it's the personality, it's all of that that drives the viewers in. Eva could wear Walmart and walk on that scene like she's wearing Dolce and Gabbana and Prada and look good. It's how you carry yourself, Kelli. So it felt a little disingenuous to say that about the other seasons, even though you saying that you didn't say that. But you did. The thing I like about Carlos, though, he sat there and just let you go, just like Shannon Sharp let Cat Williams go. But at some point, when he felt you was taking it too far, even he homed in on that and tried to bring you back down to reality by playing mental gymnastics, using biblical format, and allowing you to come down a notch back to earth with the rest of us. Humble yourself a little bit and give God some grace and thanks that you were able to get on this franchise to help rebuild your life over again. And I think that's where you missed the whole mark at. And one last keynote before I go. Did y'all notice how she gave shade to Drew and Portia, but nobody else? Even when Carla brought up Phaedra talking crap about her foreclosure, throwing a little shade, she let that go and gave her grace. But she didn't give grace to Portia or Drew. Because, see, she got free legal service from Phaedra. She got free roof over her head from Shamia. She keep the people around that she need. And if she feel that you cannot enhance or add something to her life, she will kick you aside like dust. And that's why she's doing Drew and Portia like that, because she can't get anything from them. But mind you, if Portia offers for her a deal to be a gold naked damn model, she'll be Portia's best friend. Just my opinion. And with that being said, that was one hell of an interview. And like I said before, I don't know if Kelli was telling us the truth mixed in with a little delulu, but a lot of the stuff she said just sounded a little strange to me. That's all. You guys go and have a great rest of your day. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. This is Generation Next Nation. And as always, peace, and I'm out.